Hey CrossFit Palm Beach fam, this is Coach Andrew, and in today's video I'm going to cover how much weight should you expect to be able to lose or gain in a given period of time. You know, we're getting into the new year. A lot of people are setting goals. A lot of people have the goals to lose weight, but I'll also cover the muscle gain side as well. And a lot of people look around them to other people and they've, maybe themselves have lost, 15 pounds in a month, or they've seen someone else lose 20 pounds in a month. And they start this new exercise program, or they recommit themselves to a new nutrition and exercise program, and they feel like, okay, these are the numbers that I have to achieve. If I don't achieve 10 pounds of weight loss in the first month, then I'm a failure, okay? So what I want to do for you guys today is cover what really is a good number when it comes to weight loss. What is a sustainable number when it comes to weight loss? And the same things for muscle gain as well. Because a lot of times, actually, what I see is that the smaller that number is, as long as it's still very significant, the higher likelihood it is that you're going to stick with that thing and it's going to stick with you long term. Usually when people have those really drastic weight loss changes or weight gain changes, they lose a lot of those things. So I'd actually want you guys to start by just shifting your perspective and seeing smaller incremental changes as better than bigger massive changes, because what you're essentially going to have to do is figure out how to at some point dial in a lifestyle that is sustainable, whereas when you start from that sustainable approach, you already have that in place and you just got to ride it out until you get to your goal. The other shift that I want you to make is to be able to see any progress as good progress. As long as you're moving towards where you ultimately want to be, then things are going in the right direction. One of the worst things that you can do in any type of goal, whether that's nutrition and health related or anything else, is you're seeing progress, things are going well, but because it's not happening fast enough, you decide to change things, or you decide to scrap the plan altogether and go to a different direction, and then you stop seeing results, okay? So one of the best things that you can do is really just put blinders on when something is working, even if it's not a massive change, but it's significant to see a result. And then that way you're not sabotaging something that's already working for you in favor of something that may not work for you or may provide short-term benefits at the expense of your long-term goal or long-term health. Okay, so let's get into the numbers a little bit. So a really good number for fat loss would be losing about 1% body fat every single month, okay? So obviously a lot of people look at the scale. We really like body fat percentage because if you do gain a little bit of muscle, it factors that in, whereas the scale is only tracking just overall how much you weigh, and it's not tracking how much of that is fat and how much of that is muscle. So we're a big fan of body fat, but if you're losing 1% every single month, that is fantastic, okay? And if you project that out over the course of a year, 1% a month may not even be noticeable, right? But if you project that out over the course of a year, that's 12% body fat over 12 months, okay? And let's even say you had 1 or 2 bad months in there. Maybe you go away every summer, maybe the holidays is always tough for you, but you can maintain during those times. But if you establish a plan that's going to allow you to lose 1% a month, even 10 out of 12 months of the year, that's 10% body fat over the course of a year. For most men, a middle-aged man in their 40s or so, they're gonna, if they go from 30% body fat January 1st, 2019 to 20% body fat January 1st, 2020, that person's literally going from, really in an obese and unhealthy range to someone who's pretty athletic at 20% body fat, starting to see a good amount of definition. And again, you just project that out over several more months, and now that person is a lean, athletic, probably seeing a six-pack at that difference, okay? So one of the quotes that I really love when it relates to this process, or really any goal, is people overestimate what they can accomplish in a year, but they drastically underestimate what they can accomplish in 5 or 10 years. And when it comes to weight loss, I feel like that timeline gets even shrunk even more. People drastically overestimate what they can accomplish in a week, 2 weeks, or even a month, but they severely underestimate what they can accomplish in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. So what I would encourage you guys to do is start to extend your timelines of expectations, okay? And as long as you're seeing progress in your shorter timelines, then allow for your bigger goals to be achieved over a longer period of time. Okay, so I'm a huge fan of having really big goals. I think it's great to have big goals. I think Stephen Covey's famous for calling it the big, hairy, audacious goal. I'm a fan of those. Okay, I think when you're at a party or you're at the grocery store, you're making those little decisions. It really helps to have that big, hairy, audacious goal that sort of keeps you on track and helps you make those better decisions in those key moments. But once that goal is established, it's really key that we allow ourselves plenty of time to get there, okay? So I'm a big fan of someone like, I want to lose 100 pounds. I want to get off every single medication. You know what? I want to be alive to, not only be alive to see my grandkids, but I want to be able to play with my grandkids every single day. Like, to me, those are really big goals, okay? Or maybe from a weight loss perspective, you're like, I want to fit into this pair of jeans or this bikini that I haven't worn in over a decade. To me, those are really big goals or meaningful goals for that person that are going to motivate them in really difficult times, okay? But you can't just say, okay, well, I want to fit in this pair of jeans that I haven't fit into in over a decade in the next 90 days, right? For a lot of people, that sounds like a lot of time. Oh, I'm giving myself 3 months to do it. And potentially you can get there in 3 months. But I don't think that's the best way to do it. I don't think that's the most sustainable way to do it. And realistically, you don't want to be able to throw on the jeans once 90 days from now and then never put them on again. You want to be able to wear those jeans, once every month or once every couple weeks for the rest of your life, right? That's the ultimate goal. So how can we get you on a plan or get you thinking in a way about your results and about your process in a way that's going to allow you to not only hit those things, but live those things each and every day for the rest of your life. So that's where knowing what good progress looks like becomes so important. And having the right metrics matters too, right? Pictures is great. Body fat measurements are great, whereas the scale isn't as great, okay? And when it comes to those body fat numbers, that's what we're going to use for the weight loss side. Again, 1% per month is fantastic. And if you're getting at least even 0.5%, you're losing 0.5% of body fat every single month. I would celebrate that and I would keep moving in that direction of what you're doing, okay? There's no reason to change it yet until you see those numbers truly plateau, okay? When it comes to muscle gain, probably just the poundage is a better example, and you're gonna need something like an InBody to measure this, but if you can gain 1 pound of muscle per month, that is fantastic as well, okay? 1 to 2 pounds is a pretty good range for a lot of people. If you're at least 0.5 pound per month, you're moving in the right direction. You might just need to up the calories a little bit, but if you're in that 1 to 2 pound per month range, you're in that sweet spot. And again, project that out over the course of a year, okay? If you can gain 1 pound a month, that's 12 pounds in a year. If you're more in that 1 to 2 pound range, that's going to be somewhere between 18 to 24 pounds of muscle in a single year. I mean, that's going to be a night and day difference from where you are on January 1st of 1 year to the next year. Another thing I want to point out is that men and women are going to have different numbers in this respect. When it comes to the body fat, it's pretty straightforward for men and women. We're looking for, like I said, a 1% decrease each month if your goal is fat loss, and that's pretty consistent for men and women. But if you look at the absolute number for where men and women sit, women tend to sit about 5 to 7% higher because of, just their body type. That's going to change what those ultimate goals should look like, okay? So whereas a really lean male that has definition in their abs might be at about 12%, that same female that also has definition in her abs might be more in the high teens or closer to 20%, okay? So when you're chasing absolute numbers, just realize that men and women are going to be different in that respect. And then when it comes to the muscle gain, men and women are going to be a little bit different in the fact that men have a lot more testosterone that's going to allow them to build muscle faster. So where they might be able to shoot for closer to 2 pounds of muscle per month, the females should definitely be excited if they can get even just 1 pound of muscle added every single month. It means they're definitely moving in the right direction, okay? So really, again, just to kind of reiterate the point of this video is to give you guys just an idea of what is good and what is bad, because I see, it's easy to look at other people. It's easy to doubt yourself. You see yourself every day in the mirror and you're unsure if you're really changing, okay? So use some some metrics like this that are not subjective, like body fat, like pictures, that you can truly see change. And when that change is there and it lines up in the ballpark of the numbers that I'm saying, celebrate that and stay on the path. Put the blinders on, keep going, don't doubt yourself, because again, people vastly underestimate what they can accomplish in months, years, and several years. So hopefully you guys found this helpful, and I look forward to sharing more of these tips and topics with you in the near future.